Whenever Walmart shows up, a town's prices drop fast, and so too does the local economy. This is how Walmart destroys a small town. Walmart is the largest retailer on Earth, and it's not even close. With over 10,000 locations across 19 countries, the big box giant sells nearly everything. And when it moves into a town, it doesn't just open a store, it rewrites the local economy. The smaller the town, the more dramatic the shift. In many places, it marks the end of the economy people once knew. It's a common pattern, so let's take a closer look. According to the EPA, a small town counts as one with a population under 2,500. These towns vary by location and isolation, but they tend to attract Walmart for the same reasons: cheap real estate or a sudden opening when a competitor closes its doors. And that's exactly what's happening to our test town, Anywhereville, USA. It's usually a sleepy place, but that's about to change. Walmart is coming to town. When a business as large as Walmart arrives, nothing stays the same. For residents, that can mean real benefits, more options, lower prices, convenience right on their doorstep. But those gains come with a price. To understand them, we need to look at the town before Walmart's debut, and what happens when an apex predator of commerce enters a small, fragile economy. Because when the initial buzz fades, the town is left to deal with whatever remains. Sure, these towns aren't perfect, but they offer something increasingly rare: lower property values, room for independent businesses, and local restaurants and stores instead of national chains. And even before Walmart arrives, many of those businesses are already struggling to survive. And that provides an opening. When Walmart seeps into a small town like Anywhereville, it can, and often does, look like a savior. The local retail sector may already be struggling, with essential businesses hanging on by a thread. Sometimes, all it takes is one family moving away or one owner retiring for a pillar of the community to disappear. Small businesses are fragile by nature, and Walmart offers something they can't: a safety net. That's the promise of Walmart: reliable stock, predictable price. In a place like Anywhereville, where residents are used to the quiet uncertainty of relying on a patchwork of independent shops, that can feel like a breath of fresh air. And that's not the only way Walmart promises to change the game. For many people, its biggest draw is price. Walmart is aggressively competitive across most categories, especially food and clothing. Small businesses have to cover rent, payroll, and monthly bills, and there's very little room to maneuver. Walmart doesn't have that problem. With multiple income streams, it can afford to sell key items at a loss, undercutting competitors in an already fragile economy. In Anywhereville, those savings feel immediate. And the savings don't stop at the checkout line either. From the outside, a new Walmart looks simple: an empty lot, and then a big sign that says "Walmart coming soon." But behind the scenes, the process is far more political. Towns often have to compete for new stores, and Walmart is known for negotiating aggressively favorable deals. This usually means lower property taxes, savings that can ripple outward, benefiting other businesses and even homeowners. For the residents of Anywhereville, that can feel like a win across the board. More money in people's pockets, more options on the shelves. But those early advantages don't last forever. Walmart has become one of the biggest employers in the United States, second only to the federal government with over 1.6 million employees in total. A single store can employ up to 300 people depending on its size. For a small town, that's a game changer. When the new store opens, it brings a job fair with it. Teenagers looking for their first paycheck, adults searching for steady work, retirees taking on part-time roles to stay busy. Almost everyone looking for a job finds a place. Overnight, Walmart becomes the largest employer in town, and it doesn't stop there. With long hours, often opening around 7 a.m. and closing around 11 p.m., Walmart becomes the town's default hub. It makes it the go-to choice for anyone who works unusual schedules. It's also a place to eat. Most stores include a space for a restaurant, and where local diners once operated, national chains now tend to move in. McDonald's, Dunkin', Subway, Starbucks. The appeal is pretty simple. Everything in one place. groceries, household goods, prescriptions, and dinner on the way out. That convenience is a major reason why Walmart dominates American retail. The opening of a Walmart is a high, but the crash can come sooner than expected. At first, everything goes right. The store opens, and there's a big rush to patronize it. Walmart's logistics can do what no small town ever could: keep shelves full, non-stop, no matter how remote the location. And that scale gives Walmart leverage small businesses could never dream of. It doesn't just sell cheap products, it has the power to influence those prices directly. In doing so, it decides who and what survives long enough to sell at all. And that's not all it does either. Months before the doors open, employees are already exploring the local economy, demographics, the foot traffic, spending habits, most importantly, where local money is already going. Walmart maps the businesses that have sustained the town for decades, then designs its shelves to intercept that spending. And that's where the damage starts. Oh, and if you like these videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Walmart's already mapped your town, I'm just explaining it. For a small town to function, there are certain businesses it needs to have, and many of them will be family-run, often operating for generations. The grocery store is first among them, supplying the locals with food week after week. It might be an independent store or a small branch of a regional chain. It might have an in-house pharmacy, or the town might have a separate independent drugstore. These are the businesses Walmart targets first. Beyond food, there are usually a small group of essentials: a clothing store, a hardware or garden store, maybe even an electronics store. If the town is lucky, there will be a bookstore or toy store on the town's main street. Amazon has already put a strain on many of these businesses over the years, but even so, they remain the backbone of small-town life. Walmart carries every one of them under a single roof. Unlike local stores, Walmart doesn't have to worry about local supply chains or narrow profit margins. It can undercut prices quickly and aggressively. Some residents will try to stay local and loyal. They prefer the personal touch built up over years of custom, but others will be drawn in by lower prices, broader choices, and speed. It won't be an instant death blow for the small businesses, but it'll definitely shrink their margins. And for some businesses, that pressure is often enough. Owners decide that it's time to retire. Others just can't keep going, being squeezed out of their livelihood. And sometimes, Walmart goes further. Critics have long accused the megacorporation of predatory planning, of studying towns closely and tailoring its stores to directly change successful small businesses. Walmart scouts spending habits months in advance. If a business is thriving, Walmart makes sure it can compete. Take Anywhereville again. Imagine a knitting club composed of all the local grandmothers, the kind that's been keeping the town's fabric and yarn store alive since 1948. Walmart sells yarn and fabric too, and it's priced lower than a small shop can afford. That leaves an already niche small business fighting for its life against a corporate titan with deeper pockets and wider margin constraints. Small businesses built around specific communities are often operating on a shoestring already. When Walmart steps directly into their lane, there's rarely a path back. And slowly but surely, it starts to take its toll. In the first year of Walmart arriving in a small town, it might seem like everything is on the upswing. People will be saving money on essentials. Some of that extra cash even flows back into the local shops and economy. People do still have loyalty, for a while, but eventually, the reduced profit margins will start to take their toll. The pressure builds. It's likely one of the more specialized businesses that fall first. Maybe the woman who owns the yarn store decides it's time to pack up and move to Florida. She's the first. She won't be the last. And it won't just be the direct competitors who suffer. A small town is an ecosystem, and Main Street is its beating heart. When these small businesses weaken or disappear, foot traffic drops. Nearby stores lose customers. Cafes see fewer regulars. The effects ripple outward, hitting business that Walmart doesn't directly compete with. By the time the damage is noticeable, it's too late. The system that once propped up the town is already collapsing. Walmart can't replace these businesses, but it can quietly drain the town of movement. Restaurants still get reservations and planned dinners, but most of their business comes from walk-up traffic. People who are already downtown see a sign, get hungry, and step inside. This casual flow is vital, and Walmart disrupts it. Most Walmarts aren't built near Main Street. They take up giant parcels of land and are usually constructed from the ground up, usually miles away from the town center or near a highway exit. A trip to Walmart doesn't take the shoppers through downtown at all. This shift starts to take a toll on the town as a whole. For long-term owners, retirement can become a riskier prospect. As they prepare to sell, who wants to buy a store that means competing with Walmart? Many owners are forced to sell lower than they'd hoped, or even declare bankruptcy just to stay afloat. The result isn't just a closed shop, but a shattered life and a gaping hole left behind. And the damage doesn't even stop there. Property values are determined by the health of the town around it. As businesses disappear, nearby stores suffer, and so do homes. Homeowners watch their community decline and consider leaving while they still can. But when offers come in far below expectations, many stay put, hoping things will turn around. And they usually don't. When a Walmart arrives, the ecosystem permanently changes. Its superstores are designed to capture customers before they even reach town. They simply pull off the highway, stock up on supplies, and leave without ever stepping foot downtown. The town is bypassed completely, not by accident, but intentionally. It's a modern version of an old story, a place left behind as the traffic moves elsewhere. And that leaves Walmart as the only game in town for many people. Downtown businesses don't just sell goods. They provide livelihoods. They employ people. When those businesses close, jobs disappear with them. Public sector work, like school district jobs, remains, but much of the private sector employment vanishes. And with downtown struggling, few new businesses open to replace what's been lost. So naturally, people turn to Walmart. At first, that seems like a solution. After all, Walmart was once the biggest draw in town for employment. And this is where the story stops being impressive and starts becoming dangerous. Walmart creates jobs and opportunities, just not necessarily good ones. Many former small business employees once worked in places where they knew the owner personally. Now they work for a corporation where they're one of hundreds. Scheduling issues, minor mistakes, or early missteps can mean sudden termination. And in a town with few alternatives, that can be devastating. And even for those who keep their jobs, the picture isn't encouraging. Most Walmart positions are part-time. Full-time work usually requires 40 hours a week, a threshold that most sales associates and warehouse workers never reach. The positions that do include managers and specialized positions, and competition for them is intense. For most workers, the result is fewer hours and lower pay than before. Walmart usually pays above minimum wage, but not by much. The average salary for a sales position is $18.25 an hour, with the rates being heavily determined by minimum wage in individual states. Part-time employees may receive limited healthcare assistance, but benefits like paid time off are often unavailable unless they've been with the company for years. And those grim numbers mean another grim reality. Many Walmart employees can't make ends meet on their wages alone. With limited hours and mediocre pay, second jobs become necessary. However, in a small town, especially one hollowed out by Walmart's arrival, those opportunities are few and far between. If other jobs were available, people wouldn't be lining up at Walmart in the first place. And that means Walmart's dirty little secret becomes more obvious. It is the largest private employer in the country and also one of the largest sources of workers relying on public benefits like SNAP. That burden falls on state and local governments, leading critics to argue that public funds are effectively subsidizing Walmart's labor model. And all this is just the start of the damage to the town. When Walmart turns a town into a one-business economy, everything downstream is affected. Sales tax plays a key role in keeping municipal governments funded, and Walmart does contribute, but it often isn't enough to replace what's been lost. As other businesses close, the tax base shrinks. What looks like growth can quietly become a net loss. The town's fortunes are tied to Walmart's success. That dependency can be very risky. In a major disruption like the COVID-19 pandemic, when shopping slows, the town's primary source of sales tax evaporates. Walmart is often described as recession-resistant, but that's not a guarantee, especially since Walmart brings new costs with it. Bringing a Walmart to town isn't a simple process. If it takes over an existing big box store, costs may be limited to refurbishments, but when a store is built from scratch, towns often compete for it. It comes down to who wants it most. That means infrastructure spending, new access roads, expanded intersections, sometimes even highway connections to handle traffic. Construction is expensive, and maintenance doesn't stop when the ribbon is cut. Those long-term costs fall on the town. At first, it still feels worth it until it isn't. The grim fact is, not every Walmart succeeds, and even profitable stores are constantly evaluated department by department. Walmart's corporate leadership is always focused on maximizing profits. If a section is letting them down, they won't hesitate to downsize it or cut it entirely, especially if it was meant to replace a local alternative. Let's go back to Anywhereville's knitting store. After it closed, Walmart filled the gap. For a while, yarn sales were strong, but as the customer base aged, moved away, or lost the ability to knit, demand declined. Eventually, Walmart reduced the section to a token offering. The local option was gone, and now so was the replacement. And as the options shrink, the cracks widen. Walmart's a healthy company, the largest retailer in the United States. It has over 4,600 locations in the country. But scale doesn't mean it's immune to underperformance. Each year, Walmart cuts stores that don't live up to expectations. In 2025 alone, the company closed stores in 6 states. These included Colorado, Maryland, Georgia, Ohio, Wisconsin, and multiple stores in California. This wasn't part of a planned restructuring, but rather simply trimming underperformance. For the company, these closures barely register. But for one small town, it could be everything. Anywhereville, USA rode the high for years. Walmart brought new traffic, jobs, and the illusion of stability. It was easy to ignore the glaring holes that were forming in the town's economy. Slowly, the downtown closed and the job opportunities became few and far between, but Walmart was always there, reliable, permanent, until it wasn't. Less than 20 miles down the highway, a new Walmart was announced. This one a full supercenter. It was built in another small town, but with one crucial difference. It was next to a growing tourist hub. Bigger, newer, a better location. Suddenly, Anywhereville's sure thing didn't look so secure anymore. And slowly but surely, the traffic dries up. It doesn't take long for the word to come down. The Anywhereville Walmart will be closing. Going out of business sales start. People pick up the discounts. And then the harsh reality sets in. Almost 20% of the town's population is out of work. A handful manage to get positions at the new store with a much longer drive to work, but the vast majority aren't as lucky. Anywhereville is left with few small businesses, few jobs, and no Walmart at all. It's worse off than it was before. Those who can sell their houses do, and they leave. Those who can't stay behind and struggle to get by. Maybe someday, new businesses will see the opportunity and the rock-bottom prices and move in. Maybe the town can start over, but it'll be a long journey. This isn't the first time this has happened, and it certainly won't be the last. Walmart's business model is simple. Be everything for everyone. That's why it's been so successful, and that's why it's dangerous. When it succeeds, it dominates. When it fails, it takes the surrounding economy with it. And as long as Walmart keeps aggressively expanding, some towns will always lose that gamble. In the end, the pattern is the same. A town bets everything on a single anchor. And when that anchor moves on, there's nothing left to hold the place together. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more videos like this, then please consider subscribing and turn on notifications. It really does make a difference. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time on MapPack.